다다무 말아서 치료 고도 조지 림지 태용도 라바냐가 통고래. 라바냐가 강가로 담마셔네 리그래야. 치다 노다 되시나 되게 리그래. 다 좀아요. 예우 종노니 배찬났다. 라바냐가 세야 되라. 부모가 so dushi dujana namshiki bada tingure.
So now at time of death, that our four natural elements, they gradually dissolve into each other or dissolve into the laters, and at that time, along with it, there's also the dissolution of the rakpa or the growth, that 25 which gross objects of substance, and but that is not that important for you. But most important will be if you are able to understand the 8 inner signs which happens, 8 inner signs. More detail about the 25 other dissolution of 25 gross substance or objects that you can study by yourself. For instance, the first 5 sets are the like 5 skandhas.
이시가 팅고 이시가 대 지두고 이시가 세야 지어리다 멜로다비 이시세야 인가부터 지두 다리선이 말아서 메시지 타지고 줄지 지자주 라부라부지 모두 이시가 되어도 말해.
So and also like the 5 wisdom, we say 5 prajas, and they are named after as not the 5 wisdom as we are used to, that is the 5 wisdoms of enlightened beings, but 5 wisdom of the Shi, as I'll use the foundation, okay, which meant that at the our present time, we have the 5 identical, which looks quite identical, but wisdom, but which we have right now, and those also just dissolve.
지두 단다 간스게 람나레야 마주 군데 지두에서 그래. 지두에 변의 치료야 실루도 그게 샘 참무들 지두가 추고서 그래. 바도들 지두가 롱고서 그래. 지와랜도야 지두가 죽고서 그래.
So she and tu as time, she tu, please get this two to be term because it will come very frequently, and she I will be using as term as base mending our present condition, okay, our present body, our present birth, our present death, and present birth, or the base I will use for that. So remaining others we can just leave aside for the time being, but if you just know about the dissolution, how the 4 elements dissolve, that will be sufficient. So in the case of a person who is undergoing a death, not the very sudden kind, say one who is facing in a kind of in the normal way. So now remember that first dissolve the earth element into the water element. Then remember, they don't get confused with word dissolution. It does not mean that it dissolves earth element into the water element. Remember, it does not mean that at all. It means that our nuba, or the ability here to use the earth element, it ceases. So thus, as the earth element's function ceases, so then the next element, which is water, it becomes clearer to us. It becomes more apparent.
be busu dobu. Neba korangi simle be saiwala ne shabe zondobu. Diriji ki busu dobu yor. Ngaya tenro singiraba lava yuzu chiyadaba dinde yungu yori. Ngarang sui dai ne be lui shi dobu ma pong chu rindu kindu neba meba ruchi neba di. O diriji chandu yori.
When the sick person loses his ability to use the earth element, at that time, when he loses his part used earth element, right? When he loses the power or the ability to use earth element, then he feels as if drowning or being pressed under something heavy or falling down underneath, and you can, as an outer sign, you would even see that he's losing the control, looking more relaxed, and also there's certain changes in physiologically that looking almost like getting a little smaller in size and so on, you know, that you can see a certain change.
Never korangi simle shaya de la mi gede tonga yo mare di simle shaya de la be chug no shani churbuji chur nude be mi ju no de shawi yore.
So control, we may also use word control when you lose control of earth element, okay, or ability to use or control. Now we say appears to him. Of course, we do not mean visually, right? That's what appears to his mind, that a mirage-like vision appears to his mind, not to his sight. So this is the first sign, the mirage-like, and second, that when his control over the water elements or its nibba or the potential, when he loses, then as the fluids inside his body, like the blood and so on, or the saliva of his mouth, then there is certain dryness and a little decrease in the quantity you might notice.
That Gacha and as a song to add Nada or Nada did never could similar. They made you chew no shadow of the pie any Doja, which she to no shadow.
So, but the most important that to that dying person has the mental vision of the smoke-like, the bluish, there's a little bit smoke-like to himself.
That should melting to be gone, may that over the on the Tredia doing weird, never true Kongala Kutuma Tanguchani, Tredia Yigal doing weird.
And next, when the water dissolved into the fire, then the old heat, they also gradually center towards his heart or that dying person's heart.
Nangi da de la Simbu Michigan Hawasari, Mamit Ndre, Kano Michigan Sari, Ta Nagong of Ginalia, Sarabu Kambu to Gilamiraton, the Tordona, and the Tachu Manchu and Roda, the Israel of Shasari.
It is said the inner sign which he feels is like the burnt husk they flown in a dark spot or dark room. Or also say the vision of the firebird. We firebird? Oh, sorry, fireflies, right? We have seen, do we have those flies around? Yes, sir.
Ti mangu yoshe de ko mangu phirim zama churu chene ani ko tha rimbu yishe be me de sebo yo tan de wang e thong ma ju nga zu chu do ja yong de mo de la she den do go da nga zu yong de sayurus saru de ma ba yong de zan tan riba mangu ji me do de in shina sing de thong yo in sam ma yong de ma re bu de re bu de mangu ji shin ye yo re la ga ma la ba yong go la she la bu mangu she ra yo za Pedima chur you do. Teen Hawa de Sunguyor, Simbu Nova Siadi, Simbu Michigan Nova Jo, Tirita, Simbu Michigan, that met Nakal Torja and Ojiguri, Tiriji Silama chur Chaviore.
Fireflies like vision. In the text it says, so fireflies, as you have seen around, I haven't seen in this country, but I've seen when I was coming for the exile myself, when I was coming for exile, and while I was trying to get down towards Bomdila from a distance, I saw lots of fireflies in the forest. From the distance, I thought somebody is just trying to have a break with the evening supper or something like that. And when I got closer, to my surprise, it was that flies and lots of them. So in short, that either like that kind of vision or the burnt husk thrown in the middle of a dark room. That kind of vision, mental vision appears to that dying person.
Did never get wood to be shibuji zimachi, Patoya, Shu Chimbu, Yang Hoya Shibura, Meheji, Marbu, Zimachi Dongi.
So at that time, the dying person breathed very rough, that the quantity he breathes out are quite forceful, and what he breathed in are a lot less.
Then you are long timber good. And it be Mammy Talala, Barwada was Mammy Sevuji the body was sort of chicken, setting Shama, the Wijo don't go marry, Sevuji Shaviori.
So when the elements dissolving into the wind, then in the Tibetan it says that the burning of a light in an undisturbed spot, that the yellowish kind of vision.
Chilogi Datela Ud Chenu, Udoya Yomari, Ud Simachune, Ud Bazoruda.
So to the outside, then that breathing hardness has ceased, and now that he has stopped breathing.
That in a long the Nashi the Timbegala, Nashi Chitu, Rimeri, Chazan no, Che, To, Sun, Veseta Javashago Inza, Nashi Nova the Timber, Nova Rangi do so, and when no Garbage Jatang, Tanshagre.
So now when the wind finally dissolved into the consciousness, then as the consciousness has a few consecutive dissolution, like for instance, sequential, like the now or the appearing mind, when it dissolved into appearing mind, then the whitish vision.
That means Yilasha, they were that Yilasha. Madoni Tongumari, me dagi Sachulan Tindu, me Halan Rich and Vesebura Meva, me Richa Sari. Tatana Uche Sanua, Dagani, and be Yilaba, Garbushan, Jatong, Shagiori.
So remember, the visions we're talking here are all mental, not the visual. The visual sight he must have lost even when we were just approaching the dissolution of the earth into the water. That time vision has already gone real blurred. So that's that when this becomes the appearing mind at this point, then the whitish vision mentally.
That didn't have a Jatong to Agabe, Yil Shade, Sim Koeva Lani, Beman Chigi, Shu Tele Chua Chigi, Beman to Shaviori. Similar.
So that mind which apprehends something whitish, that too disappears or vanishes, and there comes even weaker, that gets even weaker and little reddish. Within the state of that redness, then all of a sudden that, or within that state, then all of a sudden there's dark. The initial that one could remember that the onset of a darkness, but then the next moment one does not even is in the audience to realize the darkness. It's just almost like faint. So blackness, it is of the two fraction. The former one, that with memory of the, or recollection of, with orientation of memory, that being in the state of black. And later, that without even that sense of realizing being in dark. Then the darkness fades. The darkness fades, and that there's nothing, the vacuity, and nothing appears, just sense of a vacuity. That is the vessel or the clear light, named after as Mother Clear Light. So we had it since the beginningless time, that every time we have encountered a death, that as it appeared, every single death we have faced so far, so named after as the Mother Clear Light, because of being senior, that being always being there whenever we encounter the death. So every time we have encountered the death or faced the death so far, that all those 8 have come sequentially, and but we haven't been able to recognize that. Now those who have understanding of emptiness, that that vacuity there and this emptiness, empty, as they being quite resemblance, and then those who are oriented in the apprehension of emptiness, then that can link it with that vacuity or that emptiness. And so that's why, that understanding of emptiness is also named as the sun clear light. So those 8, like mirage light, this smoke color light, fireflies light, then the undisturbed light, and then the whiteness, then the redness, and then darkness, then the vacuity or clear light, that they all, 8 of them, come sequentially. Amongst the beings of 6 realms, the death amongst the devas, they do not have those 8 signs. Whereas also the death amongst the health denizens, they do not have those signs. Because there's no gradual or sequential dissolution of the 8 elements.
So
that when they appear or when they take the birth, they come like more out of transformation. They're just right there with the complete form, and when they die, their dead body is not there too. They just disappear. So the early evolution of this world, then the earliest human, that didn't have the 8 signs either, because of their birth was out of transformation. So then gradually, as we have stepped, gradually there has been an evolution into the taking birth through the womb, and nurture through the womb and taking birth. Then the birth from the womb with the 6 elements, that becomes the most suitable candidate for a proper tantric practice. The reason why those 8 signs appear. We are, so we are the reason that we are with the, born from the womb, and with 6 elements. The 6 elements are namely like the of the cognitive power, the visual cognitive sensitive visual cognitive power, then the ear cognitive power, the nose cognitive power, and tongue cognitive powers, and tactile cognitive power, and mental cognitive power, and so on. We have 6 of those faculties.
Zoje Pumbo Sova Dushin Duja Namshi Jene Pumbo Ngaje. What is Zukaleka Mevari Wardo, Dev Chile Mevari Viomari, Rimbe Gabori. So
they all cease gradually. It does not happen instantly. It is all sequential or the gradual.
Tananga Umbo Ganga Sondi, the Simte, Tobo, Sebo, Salote, Tobo, Peche Namshi. 이제 나시기베 더다 잡아 해초 저거 남시데 도부 정보에 야요래 샘데 다콜라 누구요래 너무 사출에 태우드네 미디어 마세지. So all this, as it happens sequentially, that we lose all these cognitive powers sequentially, so thus right at the present, as the faculties on which these cognitive powers are dependent are intact, are very much in a functional state. So thus we can think and we can do all of those a lot. Whereas when they begin to become non-functional, for instance, our cognitive power of the mind, which mainly relies around our brain at the head, when it becomes almost non-functional, then we loses our ability to comprehend and so on. So that not only that, there one mind which could trace down the lots of other meaning and middle-life wisdom, or our mind, middle-life wisdom of the mind, which could comprehend a lot of things at a time, we lose that too. simde be pang maru chimba yindu sin seo tsulan de ma chene lu ge za dong ta du ju za ni na de yore lu gu ju ba song de chou je ge long yore long de su da sim yin yang de ru gu yo yin za long de su pe chi ru jiang jue de su wo men na de shu yong yore.
So because of these things, the gradual non-functionality, when all these faculties which help the mind to comprehend, when they lose the function, along with these minds, they lose the ability to apprehend, and the ability of our mind loses its ability to comprehend also lessens. Our mental apprehension capability, it also lessens, and also other 72,000 of nadis, and when they loses the function and the wind flow or inside them, when they also loses their motion, then also the mind which go along with them, they also loses their capability to apprehend, and finally all the wind, when they start gathering inside the sushma, then our mind gets real subtle, and all the gross minds, they lose it. So our mind begins to weaken as the process goes through.
So
we lose all the ability to senses, like the senses to smell, and our ability to feel, or our ability to taste, and so on. Then we lose every one of those gradually, and they get more refined, and then we can't feel even a big pinch, and so on. Then they get subtler and subtler, and we lose them.
So we lose when we lose our breath or the wind, that as many as the 2 sets of the 5, right? The 5 major and 5 minors, that which I may not name, and that 5 major and 5 minors, and they have their particular places in our body. For instance, like the throat, some at the heart, some at our extremities, and in all our places, they're doing their regular functions. So when they all of a sudden, when they loses those spots, and then they all force out, they get out of those places, and we breathe those wind out, and then those wind they breathe out, and the subtler winds they just gather inside the center sushma. Then except for the subtlest wind, which we never lose, the rest all the winds they are forced out of our body, and then we lose the breathing. They all Yijinashi, some Yig Simdele, Zuda Turja, Lamike Yig Namshi, Rabare, Tavin Gasar, the Jedi.
So,
Chula maybe Yijinashi, the Tamure. Tell her the Netarashi on the Trashudil, Kondo Jachio.
so now now what we are left behind is the 80 conceptual Kundok Jaju, or the 80 conceptual consciousness of the mind those are left behind. So for instance, our 5 sensory cognitions, which are gross, now we have already lost them when we have started breathing and so on, that they have become non-functional, and also at the mental level, there are 5 mental cognition which share the 5 sensual objects as their objective condition, and those have also long ceased. But what left behind now with us at this subtle point is the 80 conceptual minds of the cognition. So mental cognition. In the mental cognition, though we have lost the mental cognition, we share the 5 sensual objects as their primary condition. Those we have lost because they are gross kind of cognition. Now the subtler one, we share the Dharma as the object, or the sharing the focal object, Dharma as focal object, that remains behind, and that's, for instance, like 80 conceptual cognitions, or the mind.
That again, Masu Tajevute Chejine, Meju Dabuta, Doa Dabuta, Kanami Shida, Mamin Barba, Noa de Tunkegi Sag, Yigi Shiba de Shiba Rabari, Dijela Tsari. Ta Mamin Barba Noa Dabu de la Uche Tsani, ta Lu Raba, Lung Raba de la, Sim Raba de la Tsani, ta Sin Chamungu Zuri. Chamu de la Chawa, ta Shindu Chawa Niyor. Chamu de la Kondu Jaju Shimbe Lung de Chawa de.
So the earlier mind, which has apprehension, the earlier mind which has the apprehension of the mirage-like vision, smoke-like vision, and then the fireflies-like, or the next one, the undisturbed light of a undisturbed light, and so on. So all those, the mind which has the apprehension of that too has left. Now what is behind is only the very subtle mental consciousness, which is of 2 kinds, that 80 conceptual mind along with the conveyance wind, and those are only left behind, which are subtler.
They go to Jajupudele Chara Sumyore.
So that
Koronselebe Chichunda Chivina, Chara Sumyore, go to Jaju Sheve Lungdela.
So now please get this written down, 80 conceptual mind, or the Kundo Jaju, that is the 80 conceptual mind, Kundo Jaju, and the wind which it shares as its vehicle. Those have the two in kind, they're subtle, subtler, and subtlest.
Kondo Jaji Shembe Lungde, Tawa, Rabba Shendu Tawa Yusani, Majin Shendu Tawari. Redi Nyome Lumare, Nyome Lumare, Nyome Simare. Tella Koronsu Naziga Tarayore. Naziga Tara de la Nawe Rangige, Kondo Jichiore. Teta Taravri. Shebe Rangige, Kondo Sunju Susuyore. Tetilete Chagri. Nyertoga Rangige, Kondo Duyore. Tea Shembe Lungde, Telejan Chagri, Kondo Jeju Titire.
So there's, as told you earlier, that wind which shares as conveyance as a conveyance by those 80 conceptual mind. There are 3 of them, which are subtle, subtler, and subtlest, right? And for instance, amongst 80 of them, there are 40 mind and the 40 subtle wind, which is shared as the vehicle to those 40, which has the section, which belong to the section of the appearing mind. They are the grosser compared to the later. And there are the increasing mind that has 33, and the mind of the wind it shares as its vehicle, those are even subtler than that of the appearing minds. And the near attainment, which is the subtlest, that it has 7. It has 7, and the wind vehicle, wind which it shares as its vehicle, that is the subtlest.
Ranger Jaju Jumbe, Long the Hajanga Chamu is a Shanto Chawa in the Kundru, the Wood Nogo Yung Toyamari. Yamaz long Rabba the Chesar, U Chesar. U Chesaduko, Chamuchi, Tawaman on the Yung.
So the wind elements, which is shared by those 80 non-conceptual, 80 conceptual mind, Kundo, Teju, Kundo, those 80 conceptual mind, that they are really subtle. They're so subtle that they don't breathe, they come out of the nostril, but they flow inside the central channel.
That is the long Hajang Bechu Shu Shembaji. Women know that you de Begala, College Simgle Chargo de la Tombo de Jatang Tongshari. Shagoya Garesana, who the chair to the Zando Ganga Trusumari. Zawuma de Lulu Chayumari. Zando the Baja can't remember Bethel in Rusawa Inza, Zawume Yana, the Tilikabu Yade, Taka came ever, Kuma, showing with them. Zawumen alone, Joyung word. Joy was the Tilikabu and Dang de, Nige Tele. Kama Kankama go, Kaju no Sim Chamun Judesa, they will dung the poor by Indu, Kun Dangi, Simtele Jatang, Handagasha Suruchi, Yungu Ajun Terida.
So those being so subtle and very inactive in movement, maybe inactive is the not really right word, but they're very weak, so very subtle. So they remain inside the central channel. And then as the regular breathing, as it has stopped, so since there's the no knots which blocks the central psychic channel, then because of that it sees the downflow of the white creative energy on the crown of one's head flowing down, which is apprehended by the appearing mind. Something whitish vision. That's the part of the reason it apprehends that downflow of that. Each light falls on it.
That day on la, come on, the Malay Sadu. I don't know, they were not try to watch you, target till Jordan, Malito till Mavuji. Ko, Yayung, Koya, lay you in the Kundang de Yaponi, Megatili Mabuge, Dang de Nige Mishi Kama go, could you think of Homa with the power in the taking down the similar pony, Simitina Zudio, no messim. Telepony, Manhong Hogi, Anginiba, Cheba Malamba Shawe, Jose. So
then in the next the middle sequence, then it happened after the whitish apprehension, then there's the reddish, right? They're apprehending something reddish. That's because the upflow of the red creative energy which acquired from the mother which has resided at the site of the navel, as it gradually elevates towards the indissipating drop at the center of one's heart, then one gets the apprehension of the oncoming of it. So that's part of the reason, or each light falls on the mind, which is apprehended by it. So thus, the reddish.
他用种说呢，提了马尾啊，用嘎巴马用的，可以你给没西边提了讲了，看别车呢，看这呢，没西边提了讲了嘛，这用的没西边提了就下不来。
So our mind, which is inside that the anticipating drop, that because of fall of that radiance of the drop coming forward, the redness is felt, and then both the white and red, they meet at the anticipating drop and close it up. So that is part of the reason there is a certain darkness.
Oh yeah. That the Toya, the Maza lay on the Telemabu lay on the Mandang the Shy on the Kabutoya no the Lazars. Telabe go to Rajan Chebe, Jembe, Konto Jijutambe Shaya, Lungde, Mevarisars. Taya, you on the Mabuja country, the Natum Jedu, and the Chebe Rajan, Konto Suju Susumba de Lungre, Lung the Melirisars. Then you can't really did not to Jede. Then you don't jill the Telemabuya Gonle, Kabudima, Shanle. Tell not to the Yenor. So not to the Mevaje, not Lambe, Jevelung, the Nerdogri, Gondo, Dungle, Jevelung, Telanor. I Gondo Lung Gangalan to do Travis, Simia, Lung Landis Library, Yomari. Travelung de Lavare. Tanyo Westim Daluma to Deomari.
So, when the downward approach of that white creative energy, at that time as it is felt by the appearing mind, and at that time, when it finishes, at that time also the near appearing mind is regal wind. We lose that at that time. And when the redness which approaches from the navel comes closer, then at that time, then when the redness, the increasing mind is regal, those wind, we lose that. And when all of a sudden there's darkness, and because of the merger of or encounter of that white and red together at the heart, and then there's certain change in the position. The white comes down and red goes up, and suddenly there's a shake in that anticipating drop, and upon which that the sense of vacuity, and out of that darkness, at that time the vehicle which is shared by those three kinds of mind, they all have lost. We have lost every one of them. Then there's sense of the vacuity. So that time all the vehicle of those 80 have left, and now only thing left behind is the subtlest mind and east wind. And are we dead yet? No, they're still in the vacuity.
That don't sound shadia semjior, don't sound thinking a semjior, the Nome Simri. Sim question was your da, the Nome Lungri. Lunda sing each other to go, Simri Lundrish and Rory.
So that the mind which sees the vacuity, that mind is the subtlest mind, and the wind which is shared by it is our subtlest mind. So subtlest wind. In short, the wind accompanies mind accompanies a wind as for means of transportation for that.
That's not simple Zilu Tela. Migi na shida, Nave na shigi, Yuzu Datrinila, Tumu Hojari. Mida Nave na shindi, Yuda Machesun Gentu Jori. Migi Taring is with Tungu, Nave Taring Diago do Jori. 나다 제도 류진아 시송的有的这我的叫的乌鸦嘛红巴都这么可个门度刘了嘛头巴都还可个门度这个了嘛也巴都还可个门度那就류진아 시송有的这的经过没的那个那些有的嘛这文字不一叫
So it is said the way we apprehend the object for visual object and audio object, that there's no necessary the encounter or the direct encounter of the object and subject is not necessary, because that without the direct encounter of the subject and object, we could still come apprehend the object. For instance, we can see the sights at a distance and hear the sound at a distance. Whereas in case of the three later, like the smell, taste, and touch, that the apprehension of the object has to be through the encounter with the object.
So, mi da na na shi yu da ma che man zhen ba re na da je do liu su su be zhen do su de ma che ba le zhen do yu da che ne jing wo re je wo re
so as this quote goes that for the visual and audio that they can apprehend the object without the direct contact with the object, whereas for the later three, for the smell, taste, and touch or tactile, the contact has to be there to apprehend that object.
Jung chimu na gi ge cha re de pe cha jung ja chi sa re de mi shen ya yo ma ro wa shen ba do wa da pe cha da ju ma ju de re
so
ta de shen ge wa gang ge lo ge chi yu da ma che su yin do yu ne nyam re zhe ma de je wa da su yin do yu ne nyam ba zhe ma de su mu de na da che da liu su mu de yu da che ne zhe sa yu ne nyam re zhe ma de su de da yu de zhe ka ga she yu de su mu de ge yu chi chung ga de zing ge re sen so it is roda chi ombu ni bude chi chu nyamba chi zin ba is lui ne de lui ga la ka ba ri yu ri sa kha tu din zin gri ri ja yu du da yu ombu du chi chu nyamba chi zin gri ji
so it is said like though it is a quote from one of the great treatises, but that we should explore, right? We are all the right to explore, and we should try to study them. For instance, it's said that for the visual and audio, no direct contact is necessary to apprehend, whereas in case of the three others, the nose, tongue, and the skin or tactile, that has to be a direct contact. And how do we apprehend that? It says that the content, elements, and particles of the cognitive power and what we taste, the object, they should be of equal amount. Then that is experience, equal amount. For instance, there could be large amount of food in a container, but what we actually taste of that food is what we, among number of the food we place on the tongue, we taste only that much of the elements which are in direct contact with that cognitive power, right? With that cognitive power and object, the elements which are directly in contact to the equal amount of the object, atom equal amount to the content and the cognitive power in being of the equal amount, then that much is experience. So it is gradual. So thus, that even though we have large portion of food in a container, but it all has to be experienced one at a time. They're equal to the amount of the cognitive power of that consciousness of cognitive power to enjoy at a time. The equal amount in terms of atom, it says. So, as you see, that when touch, you only feel at the place where it is touched.
That's so the Yuda Matre, Zemba is that the Yuda Matre, so Jendo Church. Nyamar Zemba, this is Nyamar Zemba is. This is that Kunik Menyama Zemba to Gogore. Me Chujuji Gezu Chimbo Tunguyori, the Rizet in the Tunguyori. Anjo Chujuji Draporas at the Gogori, it says a Chijunyanga Mare. How to Sukangolo, Ji Pongachi Rutangre, Shengori, Abujana, Susu, you have me now and touching the Buchi, you had to. Todakari Zad Mashamba, and the Jumbo Pichaji Trasakasa, Vajra Zori Gunkashi, wishing you to do pay your money.
So, like for instance, as said, that in the case of those three, that we experience just the equal amount of the subjective cognitive power and objective. That whatever we take in, the equal in amount of their particles, that much is experienced, not more or not less. They have to be of the equal proportion in the content particles of the atom, right? Whereas in case of the two earlier, that is, which meant visual and audio, that kind of equalness in the sides of the subject and object is not necessary, since I can see a huge mountains at a time, or a small ear can hear a very loud sound at a time, that many sound at a time. So they're unequal in terms of subject and object. In the visual and audio is not necessary. Now what I meant to say here is that it is very important for us to be informed more about our own body and how we function, that before we step into the harder parts of like the Kerim and Dogrim and so on, that how we really work, how our base really work, then that becomes very important. Otherwise, if we talk of something unreachable or something which is something beyond us, but if we remain ignorant about our own self, and that would not make much sense.
So
five sensual cognitive powers, the five sensual cognitions, five sensual cognitions, they have ability to cognize only their respective objects, whereas the mental cognition cognize all six objects, all the six. So mind cognizes all, whereas the sensual cognitions, they cognize only their respective objects.
Shindu Tije Gabe go Rarini Ma Gagwari, Tombo Sachula Tingu, me reads the me Sebuchagwari. Tizani Chumela Tingu, Soya Umoga, Soya Niro Nongazunga, me Sachul Tindu Gene, Miganashigata, Soaga, me Suji Pumugatani, Soaga, Soagadu, Lulabe, Chikarchejane, Sadong region of the menu the Soanga Nori. Today is order that's Shemugu the Ravanya Shegman usual.
So
Shitango go to study to watch.
So I was just going to explain about how feelings and those things we cease how they cease at the time of death. But I already made a point earlier that I won't be discussing about the resolution of the 25 gross ones, so I'll stick to that decision, and we're not going to discuss it this time.
That's sim singing the career, sim you shingiori, you carina shingiori, Raransu you the shingri, Miganashi zo shingri, Navanashi da shingri, Nayanashi tissue, Nashi shu kanta shingri. Ready, Simon rushing Yamari, Koshibari, Kola Kongwan Mela Badme, Panusuru Shingi Yamari. Long the rushing Yori. Lungua, Lungurua, Lung rushing Yordi, Lung Zuri, Zu is a quick, you shingi Yamari, Zuji, Shingumarua, Chaza, the Lung the rushing by Imbala, you have Wokati. Long is
So our mind, like the sensory cognition, they, as you know, that they have the ability, their power or their ability to comprehend their respective objects. For instance, they can smell, they can touch, and they can feel. Whereas mental cognition that can comprehend or apprehend all the objects around, and they can understand and do everything. But it can't move around. It does not have a movement. Whereas the wind, it has the motility. It has the ability to move, but it is dumb, that it can't comprehend because it is a form. A form can't apprehend a form.
This one. Sebu Shingi Yore, Roma Shamba Yinza, me Sebo Yoke, Kangwa Shari Surichiri, Komba Pujumani, me Dai de Bumechi.
So mind, it is very clear that it can apprehend the objects and so on, but he is very much like a person without legs, but with a very fine sights.
Long the rushing Yore, Kuzuhago, you Shingi Yamaroko, Zure. San Russian by even Yuma Shamba Yidu, where Kangbatanga Yapo you can Luigi Zuru.
So where's the wind that it does not know the object, since being itself a form. That since being itself a form, that it has no ability to cognize, but it has the motion that it can move around. As I told you, he is like a blind.
That long gone the show me then the Kerina, me you can give a coup. Cook on what the book, no, show the meat and never was love. Could they care Ruina and show the me you can meet the Goma Ruguchena, Michi could show you, and Chilopai and Lokai me that way can you come a shade to you.
So if the merger of those two, if they accompany with each other, they are blind without a very strong leg, without sight, a person with the sight but without legs. And if they accompany with each other, and if the with sight would write on that person without any sight, and if they work together as a partner, then if that man with sight gives the direction, and if that other one takes along the line or start moving, then they can get places.
That Shiva de me Yun Zen Shamba the Roma Shen, Lung the Russian by the Yun Zen Shamba Yinza, Shiva Shamba the Lung She, Lung the Shiva in Ujiba Jen Kabano Lung Kir, Yu the Shiva de Ginzi, Jeza Lung the Shiva, Lung the Simi in Jubaji, you were Zawa de Tour.
So the wind lacks the ability to apprehend, whereas the mind lacks the ability to move. But yet they have the same yucca, the entry, same thing to follow. So by merger of those two on the right track.
Go Java go to Zana, me they said, tell a long by single by Rangi Saint Shuba, as you go there do. How goes at the sim should do, long shoe level. Long shoes at the new Omana shoe do to Ganga, Legati, we are down, Chesa, long sin Jovaji in Benet.
For that reason, when we visualize our focal object inside our channels and concentrate on it, and have our mind single-pointedly have it there. They have our mind single-pointedly inside that visualized object. Then since the wind and the mind share the same yucca or the entry, then because of that virtue of the presence of mind just there, the wind also starts flowing right there.
다 다제바 의세 카톨레디바 의세들라 심 뇨메 심 지코 토마메바데 요케게 심디제 다 코요 사도 롱요거리 뇨메 롱다 뇨메 심 오지데바디 다 다나가라수 니게 너 미시비티나 데요고 요리도 코베 심라버스고 유리데자 코자 윤진 두고요 말이야 코 시도 미세바디레 대자 신세버스고 윤진데디 공어고요 말이야 뭐면 더 어디 뭐 샤워도 까마리 그메도와 그 충성을 내가 나지고 윤진이요 말이야 다 신라버스 지기라 니라 송라 강가발라 차디 다 그베 동상상 제야 될레버래
So that mind which it apprehends that vacuity, now which is our subtlest mind, right? The reason why why it doesn't at the present time as it doesn't work is because like it's so weak inside that all other the gross mind they are in so functional and active that just like the our inability to see stars during the bright sunlight, we don't see the star during the day. In the same way that it remains obscure, remains absolutely weak or not weak, obscure inside us, so it doesn't come apparent. And at that time, since we have lost our gross mind gradually, one after another, so since our gross sense of cognitions left us one after another, so that at that time it became apparent for our opportune time.
단예도 나톰 제야데 니게 미시베 tilgala 카마부 야요 가부 마요 카디데바데 카친도 카친 마부 야지 가부 마친도도 다 네레 나통도데 상수 예도 요마레 데메바 이자다 심녀시 고르마도 매드 다 코인지 유마지 까메레 다 콜로 동사사 샤그레 다 디리르베 동사사 샤네 배 여리도 그제 되기는 네바요 말이 미치부 메타메바 시게이네 가시 샤부 숨제리를 의셀 되기요 의셀 되여베 가라 아니 르드 크기요 말이 조글 좀 크기요 말이 차바치살 자자네 롤 좀 크기요 말이
So when they are a white spot and the red creative energy and white creative energy, when they have met each other at the anticipating drop at the center of our heart, then we felt darkness, right? Dark apprehension by the near attainment mind. And the moment they lost the position, when they were shifted in the position of the white one going down and red one up, and when there was sudden change, then there was vacuity. Then as the only mind left behind is the subtlest mind, then there was no choice for it but to apprehend that vacuity, since it is the only mind left behind. So it apprehends that vacuity, and it's for a higher practitioner, they stay in that state for about 3 days and so on.
다 지rin게 거서 쳐주고람 체도군데 고나 신치어다 준신거 여바 마시 대공원에 의세가 봐도 야보 공자바디 장수나 또바 토모게 마주네 시대 신도데 뭐지 저러잖아 다야식도 사단데 사출레면 미주레 다 아삼베 의세티 야보 공원 삼베 상로데 동게 잖아 아니 의세가 거 동상 용배고도 아니 내가 지금 이시 돈이 공부 대동 공토는 저래 마토는 돈이 지상로 거기나 돈이 스토어에 샤드요 이자 뭐 남산 쳐비요래 그래서는 돈이 또 용고요래 저 요새 그 돈이 또 현자도 돈이 또 남산 내가 냐바샤 되네 샤브지니 손으로 나도 주던라고 되는 냐바샤 요새 장니 어다 요새 기줄 장네 내 손도 면도 다 쳐버리다 제가 지금 하주에 대지는 루지면 다 쳐버려 So, at this time, like for instance,
that in our daily practice, right, that in our regular practices, we do those which looks resemblance, right, as a resemblance with the actual happening during the time of during death process, and resemblance with the death processes we did during our caring practices. So if we are well trained in it and well oriented, then we could remind ourselves at the actual happening of death on ourselves, and could bring ourselves to orientation to remind ourselves of the forthcoming or what is ahead, and could allow ourselves or provide a chance to remain at that vacuity, to be able to see that as the empty of inherent existence, and if so, then if possible, accompanied by the great bliss, which will be the most wonderful. If not, then at least to stay in the state of the emptiness and try to understand the lack of inherent existence at that time, and then stay in that state for a few days or so on. Then if we could water, which means orientation, or that orientation into the emptiness, if we could do that, then it's assured that we will be born in a proper place for the next life, if best for the most suitable for the further Tantra practices and so on. Such is the benefit. So, if we become very competent in our practices, and at that time we may be able to apprehend on those emptiness, and so on. Also in the bardo, that we can appear ourselves in the form of the deity, that if not in actuality, but at least at the yingo or the mental level, that at the mental level that we can appear as deity, and also we can choose our birth.
That nyale thome ge gashene ngesunu dumugo chewale chewade su meluto te thoan geme basha ge ka tebe lama dan chegre su nyale delebe shita ge yaga yungre chewa yuribura ma thoba chige taba thogre te dama reji na chewa sam jedo lene be dele jaga yungre tado nyale goro chuane ane lama drube ko yungre ota
so
ane tado dele chunane 추지어 레니 만도네 다바카시 시간도네 저 세고디온도 저래 바도 마루고는 저 바도 드로네도 저래 데네베 렘드도 바베 나초 지고지어다 들냐네하고 쟤나 단냐네 초도 저베 쟤나네 제리네 조린 고네 상제루로 어디래.
So if we have done the practice, the very proper practice, and then at that time such things we can make provide ourselves with such an opportunity at those times, and all like from the state of Bhakti, we can even choose our own birth, that knowingly we can take a birth somewhere where we would like to, or even come as a great reincarnation, that all of those things we can have. And if at the best we can, if we choose to go to the Tabakajishin or the Kaja land, one could go while one is at the state of the clear light, or one could go to Kaja land while one is in the Bhakti state, and so on. So.
다 봐도 주주도 담에봐 봐도 돈은 가냐래 매개이나 다 제가 의세 되라 샤부치니 송제데 그래 내려데 담에봐 있는 동반이고 저거 말이 정로에 다 강인의 제가 의세 된 가봐다 아니 쌤이 제로는데 로 홍보님바 로디 바바 참네 남시도 천용하다 바도 조용하래.
So now for those who have not done such a practice for ordinary person, then that after that, when mind after the clear light, then mind just leaves from between the skin, then mind or consciousness leaves.
치외 세방 가바도 세바바도 조바니도 되냐면 당연히 치세 단다 외세 돼야지 치세 치외 세바 시야게 세바들이 된 가로와다 배 세바테 조바다 바도 레레 바니부터 버루자니요 말에 치세 가바도 바도 조용 그래.
See, the dead existence, Chisi in Tibetan, Chi and Si, dead existence and perceive.
아니 요나 시시스 세바 지스요래. 고도지 세바 치시 바르시 치시 스지레스.
So, the dead existence and Bhavda existence, the moment that ceases, that next moment is the Bhavda existence. There's no in between. They are of the same continuity, okay? That moment the dead existence ceases, there is the Bhavda existence.
세바 코아 스기도아 세바 코아. 진짜 세바 되나?
So, Sipa, as I'm talking here, existence. Now, this is of four kind, as we say, dead existence, Bhavda existence, then the birth existence, and the prior existence. The prior existence. There are four kinds of existence, right?
다 세바 지게 떠나르 우디 바나 밀릴레 아메 코반 지겐질 차잖아. 아메 코반나 바만 코산 리마나 남시디 쇼바다 그 지세리 지베세바.
So, if I were to explain on those four existences, the moment our consciousness joins at conception, the egg and sperm, that is the birth existence. At that time, we have taken a birth.
지니 좀바지게 아메 코바나 ቸ르마 첼로나체 부구추주제 다르고제 겐고제 가르체도 마지 미세시부 모두 지세버리.
So, from the birth, from that moment, that then our stages as fetus or fetus, as gradual growth in the stage of fetus, and then birth, childhood, then adulthood, and so on, then the prime and so on, and adulthood. All those things, whichever way we may choose to define, but that is the prior existence. Prior existence.
당어류지 세바제는 메제 바신도도 신의 단다 의세데 가다 봐도 마루고 봐야되라 의세데 마샤바도 어디지 세바지 신바 요지마 태용의 의세 동성의 샤용의 치세래.
So from that conception till to the appearance of the vacuity or the clear light, that is a prior existence, and that clear light state is the dead existence.
다 의세된 가로와다 봐도 조용하래. 봐도 조용해서 봐 아메 코바나라 배 나시 마주 버루들 바세래.
And the right after the cessation of the dead, the vacuity or the clear light, that dead existence is the Bhavda existence, and until he joins a conception, egg and sperm, that is the Bhavda state or the Bhavda existence.
지금 세바 지버루 요말 지질 투가 비에니베 아니 데코르고 되버려 맞아?
So these four states or the four existences, so that they have no breaks in between. There's no break in between, because that's what we have been in the cycle of those four states or the four existences, one after another.
당 알아서 제 기어드체 정바도 냠렌지 제케이네 시도 야고 전에 배 다데시아버지 뭐 쳐버리지 용거래. 되네 멤버 디바샤다 사데케이네 싫어져 나르죠 자고 용거 나사 두고 be ara anamado chesan de me ba lama gunjo e me shen ne me to tujo be ji chiru chi jego sambayo ne lo me to derege be shedan do bu yung re kan dare yimbe shen do da pasi jo yung du pasi khale le wa ta ko padu jo yung wa ta ko be zugu yung zo re be ngo da zugu da be chang sama sa mi da am jo da kan ga be 창성시 조용을 멜랑글이 나오지 니 고사데 멜랑 동용도 멜랑들 갈래 야 미무고 람산다가 소구치여다 롱글이 다나야 바세 발롱글이 베 온복고 창와 베 함데가 조용을
So now at the present time, one who's really that one who can't think of anything virtuous or ignore or rather choose not to do or think about any of those virtues, or remain in a state of denial, or so on, or even though one wanted to do something virtuous, one does not quite know that what is virtuous and so on, so thus involving all the time in negativities and so on. At the time of death, that are very painful and hard death as such could become a reality, or will be a reality, right? And even though one wants to think of something positive, that one does not know what kind of positive thing one could turn or think, or even though one could have some coach or to think something positive, one can't. Simply one does not have the, under the pressure of something, one can't think about it.
배수고 요조 요어데 그러지 요르스나 지등 미바도 담해바데 있는 삼바 줘봐요 쪼랑랑 지어래 시어하고 말해 신루고 여봐 실살이마 하고 요 말해 배치르게 그래서 그 신그래 집보다 맞서당 알아주베 뭐 쳐버수 신그래 대만이 신그 요 말해 이내 세부도 쪼부 쪼랑랑 되게 지어래.
So at the Bhadra state, then while one is in Bhadra state, the kind of body which he shares is like kind of body which we dream, like in the dream, which is like the wind body. We say wind body, that which is very subtle and which is very subtle and so on. And for instance, like the human who is in Bhadra, that his kind of mind is always in a very sad state, in a very state of very great sadness.
For the
body of the Bhadra being, there is no skin, flesh, bone, or none of those things as such. So since he does not have any one of those, as a food, that smell is more like smell is one he lives on. There is no weight, since it is a very light of the wind and leaves no print on the ground and could pass over anything, since because of subtlety. Comes around one's family members, like parents and spouses and children and so on. But since because of subtlety of the personal body that nobody sees, and he concludes that they could be upset or have offended them, or they and ability to reach anywhere he think of, that anything he think of, he is able to reach there or get there. So he is everywhere.
Chansani Bemedo Tachi, Kumaya would Drelendo, now at Yoga would Salele, ship Chile de Maimba Chilabe, she no longer at the Levy.
So sometimes in the beautiful places or gardens, sometimes on a most dreadful places or scary.
Nazu Lula Lung Juju or Lung de Salon Melon Chulon, Jordan, Lung Joy, the Jang and Marasolet, Betty Nanya de Chorico, Lung Jo Losumare. Lung Jo Lova Inza, Salon Lobe Jenge, Sam Salabe, Sagabe Chaba Pava, Kevachim D or Dobu, Rini or with the Negbe, Jita, Gina Chimuyore.
Salon Jo.
Salon Losa, Sailum. So,
in our case, we have the last portion of the earth elements and so on, whereas in his case, as being lack of those, or the order of those, then sometimes he feels that trapped under a big landslides and so on, or caught in a big landslides.
Chui balung tradu chube nala tsui nruwa, chule saban ruwa, jatsu chimbu nala lung ruwa ruwa, chugu wudra chebe, chugu gebe ke chimbu jani, tende gebe shenan shivu yore.
Times of feeling being caught within the waves of the ocean or the river and so on, in the currents, and immense or very fearful.
Sansan member yung edo shina chimbu do de rile member do treat ba me chimbu shibu ke mege tsara do woda to ba zong be ni ge do go me chimbu ba yung ne mege ji de tsuba do de ge shina yore.
Times of fear that that one is caught in the middle of the fire, forest fire, or the sounds given, a sound produced, which the sound itself could tear your heart apart. That kind of the fearness that overcomes him.
So, Habaja Lungi Kidro, Gavelona, Teluja, Lava Shibutan, Lungi Kidro, Bebanana, Lajano, to the Regi Jiba Chimbuyor.
Times being carried away by the currents of the wind and wind all over and just tossed up and down in the space. There's such a fear experience. So, as it says, there are four kinds of great fears. The four kinds of great fears of the natural elements.
The
four fearful sounds of the elements. Fearful dreading sounds of the elements. Those are the sounds upon the hearing itself. They're so terrifying which could tear the heart apart. Three abysses into which a brother being could fall. The three abysses or the precipice here, the precipice of the three lower realms. So, such a Trinang or the erroneous or the hallucinatory or the erroneous true as appearance or perceptions are shared by the other beings, and only those who we could save ourselves with the proper knowledge into the teachings, and we could and if we train ourselves in the teachings properly, that only could help us, because at that time we can realize that just as such things happens in a regular dream, in which I'm not really tortured, but I feel being tortured. That though there's no butcher who is going to butcher me, but sometimes I dream of butchers. And with some kind of confidence one gains, right? Confidence to compare that with being like a dream, or being an hallucination, or being just an erroneous perception. So thus that one could gain a thing or confidence over that. And at the best, one could think or take refuge and meditate on the meditation deity and so on to overcome that. And such will become possible only through the teachings. Otherwise, that they, in such a situation, the one's power and wealth and nothing works, but everybody goes equally through that.
Sonsani Gagoya Yori, I'm on the Shenji Chibuti de Leon, Kadon, Chiwazi deke, Misa Mabu, Gasherago Yunge, Zibu, Tamanu Litrigilana, Sonjaki, Jordan Jo, Sir, but the Sea Gay Chimudu, Nige, we are going to Gelo Chimuja, the day you want over the Shinoyori.
So times also, of course, one running into very good times, very comfortable and so on. Again, times that being chased by the host of the Yama, that who looks so scary, that with their eyes bulging with the redness around and staring, and with the giving all the sounds of, like, for instance, snatch, kill, and so on, that the sound itself could knock out.
Tatewa Badu Tuju Singa Peshachior, Dina Mamushira Sayore, Pechiri Dengamare, the Dos da Dembayo, Badu Tuju, the Dementos Dasha Yore, Sunguyore, Ye Ingrid Dinabe, Jawaringa Jaya Nobu, Nama Nonze Jaya Nobu, Kansa Yore, Tuju Mashikuma de Nive, Suata, Devatu, Chaza Kuju, Chevashan, Devatu, Namatanza Majeva, Badka Lady Namatanza Janjega Ayoniti, Ine Dinala. So in the, like the Paduturu or the Tibetan Book of Death, as you have heard, that there are some which are quite true, and it is said that there are lots of additions to that too. And if you just read through, you might find some of those very informative, and they are true too. But at some point, as it talks about the encounter with 5 Dhyana Buddhas or the Asubya and so on, then while we are alive and sit down and meditate and compose ourselves and try to have an encounter with Bharatana, or when that does not happen, it will be really much harder for us to that happen in such a bhava state. So for a Bhava being that he does not need the door to go out, he can just get out from anywhere, from the walls or the roof. Kyabje Zong Rinpoche, so that they can change in the Padu Trina Yonga, Lamedama, Trentoba, Padu Mero, the Rukichi, True, the Gadigan, the Rulian today, Yore. So, if one is of a very poor saving of the merits he has, or accumulations of merit to back him up, of course it will be hard. But if one has a huge accumulations of merits and so on, then meritorious, then at that time one could remember the instructions of teachings and so on. And even though one could have already had a bardo to be born in lower realm, there could be certain changes, and one could get a better rebirth or better bardo. Yeah, that's what do you say? Any cheering with Shaja, ali kosan na parul.
So, please have a short break.